Hi, this is Nikki. I'm the creator of Nicki's Homemade Crafts. Today I would like to teach you how to do this shortened cable stitch. I call it a shortened cable stitch, or like a two-stranded braid. I guess it's like a twist, right? On my tie-up beanie that I just created. So tying up in the back actually it helps for everyone who has trouble making the right size of a beanie. And yeah, I have the link to the pattern below if you want to know how to make this beanie. I call it the tie-up beanie. But let's get started. So let me zoom in so you can see actually what stitch I'm talking about. So it's this stitch right here, okay? I call it the shortened cable stitch because usually you have an extension in between, and I did not do that. I just kept going and twisting it pretty much. All right, let's get started. Let me zoom that out. All right, so this stitch is made in a duplicates or multiples of 6 plus 2. So I have a little, just a little part here ready to go, so I can just show you how to do this stitch, okay? So the first is, so I have here a foundation chain, single crochet foundation chain, and then I have half double crochet on the next row, and I chained 1 and I turn, and then I'll do half double crochet, 2 of them. And then we're going to do the cable stitch. So I use 4 of them, okay? So 4 stitches. So it's 2 in the front and 2 in the back, okay? So the first thing you're going to do, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more so you can see it. I don't know why my lighting is not very good, even though it's very bright over here, but my camera doesn't show it. Anyways, hopefully you can see this. I used red, so it's a little bit easier to see. Okay, so it's pretty much a front post double crochet, but we're just moving the stitches around, okay? So we're gonna skip the first 2 right here, and then we're gonna work on the next 2, okay? So here's a half double crochet, so as I said, skip, skip, and then here's a half double crochet from the previous row, and we're gonna do a front post double crochet, okay? Right here. And then we're going to do the same on the next stitch. And now we're going to work backwards. So we're going to go back to those 2 stitches that I skipped right here. So the first one that I skipped, and then the second one, which can sometimes be hard to see. Let's see if I can show this properly. So I did here, this was my first, and this was my second front post double crochet. This is the one that I just did, and there's still 1 half double crochet from the previous row right in between. Can you see that? So I'm gonna do 1 more right here. Okay, so you can see now this is kind of twisting right there, and that's the cable stitch. So now I'm just gonna keep going and doing 2 half double crochets right here, and then I'm going to repeat that pattern again right here. So let's do that one more time. One, two. So we had skipped these 2 stitches, then we made 2 of the half front post double crochets. Now we're going to go back to those 2 stitches that we just skipped, okay? So I like to pull it apart a little bit. It's not going to show later on because of the tension, but it helps when you pull a little bit so you see where you have to go, okay? So there's 1 in between. So they're all front post double crochets, just depends on where you're putting them. Okay, so here's another twist right there. Let me see if I can. It shows later on a little bit more, the more you do it, okay? And now we have 2 more half double crochets right here. Where's it? Right here. Okay, chain 1 and we turn. In the next row, you just do single crochet. So let me do that real quick. Just a whole row of single crochet. Okay. So you see some holes creating here. They will not really be shown later on, so you don't have to worry too much. That's just because we're skipping 2 stitches and then we're going back to them later on. So, okay, so I did a row of single crochet, and now we're going to repeat that pattern, but this time we're going to not go into the half double crochets. We're going into those front post double crochets. Okay, so I'll show you one more row, and then you know how to do this one. Okay, so we're doing 2 half double crochets. Okay, and now we're not looking directly at the stitches right here, but we're actually looking at these front post double crochets that we created. Okay, so now we're gonna go behind this one and this one. So as I said, we're gonna skip the first 2. So just look at those posts. Okay, so I'm gonna call this one 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna skip 1 and 2, which are behind. We're skipping those ones first, and we're gonna go to 3 and 4. Okay, so we're gonna go behind that. Can you see that? So I'm right behind here and doing a front post double crochet. Now we're going to number 4, which is right here. So this is where it gets a little tricky because it kind of bends over and you have a hard time seeing the 2 in the back. So I just pull it a little bit over. Do you see that? I'm just taking it and pulling it over. And then I see my 2 right here. Okay, so this is number 1 and 2 as I just counted earlier. So I'm going to do number 1, front post double crochet. So you can see I keep holding them on the side still while I'm doing the stitch. It's not that hard. Just have to, it's the same pattern every time. So once you get it down once, it's really not that difficult. And now you can see that the twisting is starting, and you're making a cable. So as I said, I'm not extending it in between. I'm just going to keep going with the twist. Okay, now I'm going to do 2 half double crochets. Okay. Oh, what's this in my yarn? I'll try to ignore that. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing again on this one. So let's try that one more time. So we're going to count, okay? So you see that? So you have in the back, you have 2. Let's see if I can put my thumb right here and push them aside so you can see them. So it's 1, 2, and then 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to skip 1 and 2. We're going to go to 3 and 4 first. Okay, 3, then you do 4. Okay, now I like to kind of push it to the side, so I'm going to see 1 and 2 right here. Okay, need a little bit more yarn. Okay, so push it to the side, so you see 1 and 2. So we go behind it because it's a front post. Okay, this is 1. And here's 2. Okay, now you did that cable stitch, and now we're going to do 2 half double crochets, and that finishes up the row right there. Okay, so let me pull this along so I can show you how this looks like. Okay, so you can see here now how these twisting around, they're like, it's like a braid, but a two-strand braid. So I did 2 of them. You can see that right here. Okay. So I hope this video tutorial was helpful on how to do this. I call it the shortened cable stitch. And give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and hope you subscribe to my YouTube channels and for any future videos. All right. Thank you. Bye.